Welcome back to Bay Sunday. Please welcome Carrie Butkevich, the Executive Director of the Oakland Youth Chorus. Carrie, tell me a little bit about this organization. I know they do a lot of great work in the East Bay.
Thank you, Kenny. Yes, we're actually a K-12 choral organization. We've been around since 1974, and we are serving the second and sometimes the third generation of Oakland residents, also branching into Alameda and Richmond in the last few years. We really work to try to provide a music education that's accessible to everyone, and also help children and youth to find their voices and to bring them together in support of their communities.
And you know that music can do so much for each child. Tell me what you've seen from some of the students who have entered the program and then seeing them, 5 years down the road.
I've seen this incredible development of confidence. I've seen students who were at risk of dropping out of school decide that because of choral music, that was the thing that they came to school because they got to be in the choir after school.
Right.
And it was a driving force that allowed them to belong. We've had children who have lost family members, and the chorus has become a second family and really helped support them in their journey.
Carrie, we have a clip of the children. Let's take a look and then talk about it afterwards.
It must seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, and you can take a break. Hot air balloon, not go to space. Yeah, I don't care, baby, by the way.
Yeah, you can see they're having fun out there. Personally speaking, I sang in high school as well, and that helped, I think, me just be comfortable being in front of an audience too. Do you see and hear some of your students talking about how that music helps them in other settings as well?
That's actually really one of the things that we really strive for. We want to make sure we know every child that comes to us is not going to become a professional musician, but we know that they're all going to have to speak in public and go to a job interview, hopefully be able to advocate for others in their community.
Sure. And I was looking at some of the list, some of the people who have participated in the past. You've had some students who have gone on to some pretty important positions, as well as performing in Tony Award-winning shows and American Idol. That's pretty impressive.
It's a wonderful and rich history. Oakland has such diversity and such amazing talent, and to be able to be part of nurturing that next generation of talent when we have, our artistic director who you just saw directing, Linnell Martin, is actually an alumna of the choir. She is amazing with our kids. The soloist is actually also a second generation. His father was in the chorus in the 80s. And whether it's people who are working locally or we have Grammy winners and Grammy nominees all across the board. It's really amazing to see what can happen when you give children an opportunity to express themselves through the arts.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And how many kids join the chorus every year?
We actually serve between 600 and 700 students across 22 programs in the East Bay each year. The group that you just saw is our chamber singers. That's our top touring ensemble, and they represent Oakland throughout the entire Bay Area, but also on tour. They've recently been to New Orleans and Seattle. They've performed at the White House, and we've represented Oakland as their musical ambassadors in 7 states and 3 countries during our 42 years.
And are you heavily reliant on volunteers, and how do you kind of get help from the community?
We are definitely reliant on volunteers. We also have some extraordinary partners. We work with after-school agencies, and I really need to acknowledge East Bay Agency for Children and Love, Learn, Success. They are really wonderful partners for us, as are our schools, our community, the OUSD Music Department. We're really pulling a lot of different people together to make this work happen for our kids.
Right, and it's not just for children in a certain part of Oakland. It's pretty much open to any child who is interested in music in the East Bay.
It definitely is. We have community programs that serve all children. We have a K through 5 group, and then we also have the ensembles that you've seen for grades 6 through 12. We are also really proud of the work that we do in our Oakland schools. We serve 6 out of the 7 Oakland Council districts in our school programs, and are also pleased to be able to serve the communities of Alameda and Richmond in schools as well.
Well, Carrie, thank you so much for joining us here this morning, and I know you guys are doing a lot of great work out there in the East Bay.
Thank you. I hope we get to hear you sing.
Maybe one day after the show. All right, for more information about the Oakland Youth Course, log on to oaklandyouthcourse.org. That's oaklandcourseyouth.org. We'll be back with more Sunday after this break.